And good Thursday morning. Believe it or not, another 24 hours has passed, and it was just like that. On the way this morning at 7, join us. Veterans of Foreign Affairs will be with us, won't they? Foreign Wars will be with us, as Kirby will be in to talk with us. They're having a rummage sale. Great deals going on. And you know, Odie, I'll say this. I probably said that wrong because 10 years ago you wouldn't have known what I meant by that. That's a garage sale.
That's a garage.
That is a northern term.
No,
Let's get that straight.
We have a garage.
We have garage sales. We don't have rummage sales. So we got to talk to Kirby, the VFW, as they make their ways in. We're getting on him. We're going to get it straightened out. From here moving forward, I think we can get him straight. A lot to do today, as we'll find out. The temperature sitting at 64 right now as we wait for high to be somewhere around 89. It's going to be a warm day is what we're expecting. Whew, boy, we've got all of that and so much more. I think we're going to have to make a quick adjustment here as we go into the Preacher Man, as we'll go to Collinsville. I'm going to make a quick adjustment when we start this, and we'll be right back.
Now, when it comes to advertising and marketing, there are several business.
Is there anything more enjoyable than sleeping when it's raining or storming outside, especially if you have a tin roof? I mean, that's the best. You could curl up and pull the covers up close and you just drift off to sleep. But on the other side, there may not be anything harder than having to get out of the bed the next morning. Be honest, how many of y'all have to hit snooze like 5 or 6 times on your alarm? Or some of you, maybe you have 10 different alarms set just to get you out of bed. Look, here's the deal. Sleep's important, and when we don't get enough of it, it wears on us. You know, my baby boy woke up from 12 to 1:30 last night, and I can feel it right now. Sleep's one of the ways that God reminds us we need to lean on Him because our bodies are weak and not meant to carry the load. Still, if we aren't careful, we can let good, godly, biblical rest turn into slothfulness if we lean too heavily into laziness. Proverbs 20:13 says, "Don't love sleep or you will become poor. Open your eyes and you will have enough to eat." We need sleep. We cannot let it become an idol because it will make us ineffective in our day-to-day life and for the Lord. You know, being a student pastor, I hear some interesting stories about sleep schedules, especially from teenagers in the summer. You know, I have a couple that will tell me that they go to bed at 3 a.m. and wake up at 12 p.m. This is not wise. Let's make sure to get a good night's rest, but let's not let rest make us slothful. Take a good, balanced approach and go to work for the Lord rested. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome. I do hope you enjoyed that message as always. We're getting ready for a great morning show. I hope you'll join us. That begins at 7 o'clock as we'll find out what's going on. Wally, good morning. Good Samaritans out there. Good morning from Chunky. Susan is with us. Janice is up. See that Mac joins us from Clarke. Dale Charlotte is coming in from Philadelphia. A few of the folks. Always love to hear from you. As we start looking at headlines that are moving across America this morning, lawsuits happen. There's lawyers on every corner. You don't think about this much, but Uber, been one of those. A couple was in a wreck in it. They went to sue the company, and somewhere where they clicked accept, when they got to court, they couldn't sue. They accepted all responsibility of riding in the car. Maybe that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that they didn't have a right, but I'm saying that there are a lot of frivolous lawsuits, and maybe this will help deter if a judge stands behind it. Just saying, we don't know all the details of that, who, what, and how, but the judge held them to it. Wouldn't allow a lawsuit. This is ridiculous. I'm just going, there's no way Ronald Reagan would allow this. This makes me really want to stay at home and never get in the friendly skies, as they have now waived certain college graduates to bypass training and go directly to work as an air traffic controller due to the lack of air traffic controllers. How does that make you feel? Seriously, that should be no.
Yeah.
Who approves this? It can't be good. As we all know, you take any job that there is, somebody that is new on the job, there's going to be mistakes. There's one problem with this. You can't make a mistake as an air traffic controller. This is not one of those pull over to the side of the road. Okay, let's do this exercise one more time. If there is a mistake, it's huge.
Oops.
Hello, America. That's like the airplane pilot. Let's not skip training on that and let him just jump on in there.
Oh, you flew a glider?
Oh, glider, you're perfect for it, as Odie said. It's just troubling. Shortcuts? They're not good on stuff like that. These measures are put in there for a reason. We see in Japan at an airport there was an explosion. What was it? A bomb that had been there since World War II that went off. It was buried underground, paved over. What caused it to go off? We don't know. They say that all across Japan that there's probably more and more of that. But how many? That's a lot of years to have just sat there. Maybe vibration caused it. I don't believe anybody was hurt, but it certainly scared a few folks pretty bad there. This is something to look at. We saw it happen to the Superdome, and then there was no Superdome for a while. Let's hope this never happens again, but they have put this as they start preparing and getting ready in case of emergencies across America. A few NFL stadiums that would be designated as shelters in case of a big emergency, like a hurricane. As we look at here, the New York Jets Stadium would be one, Seattle Seahawks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have also all been named as they would use these as places to go to in case there was a disaster. Again, got to have a lot of security at things like that. Let's see what else has gone on. Israel has been letting loose a few airstrikes this morning, as we see in Beirut. We expect more of this to come, as Netanyahu says he's not stopping. He's going to end this. I do believe him. A no-nonsense type guy that will follow through with what he says. Do y'all remember this? This was, I remember seeing it a couple of years back, somewhere around there. It was a police officer. She was a woman. In 1986, she had a boyfriend. And I'll word it, she had a boyfriend because he was also married. She didn't like the wife, so she eased around, and I guess the way to do it is to took her out. She was murdered. No one knew about it. She got away with it for over 20 years. I forget what came about that brought her guiltiness to light, but she was sentenced to prison. She, as Greg said that day, I almost made it.
I almost made it.
She almost got out of jail. The parole board was set to let her out. She had been in there not very long at all, and they have denied it now. She's going to stay in prison for what she done. But hid it for 20-something years, and then she was approved until someone spoke up and said, whoa, wait a minute. California is where that was going on there. A lot of help going in for the hurricane relief. Have y'all really sat back and looked at all of this? I got another video from someone that we're going to post later today of the damage in Georgia. North Carolina was hit hard. We can't imagine. It's been a few years since we had that devastation in the state of Mississippi to where when you wake up, there's nothing but the sound of silence. Many have that. We have to give kudos to Elon Musk, who has been moving his satellites over to give them free internet service. And seriously, that's a big thing for people that are hung out there. That's a big thank you to him. Also, I know we've got some, we'll talk about this on the morning show, some local ways to give. A church that's going to be taking a load over. And we're up to almost 180. It's in the 170s of confirmed people that have passed away. There's still 600 or 700, I think, that are missing. Expect these numbers to rise. There's remote areas that probably haven't been gotten into. People on the missing list that hadn't been found. Think of these folks. They're our neighbors. They're our fellow Americans. It's pretty tough there. Well, Virginia, and I guess you just have to call it how it is, a debate there. We've got, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce his name correctly, but I will try. Hunkeo? How do you say that, Odie? CAO is his last name. We'll call him. He was in the debate, And the debate took a turn. I don't know if y'all saw this a few years back, to where the United, and this is for real, this is not a spoof, it was not made up. The United States military, you have an airman that is promoting join the armed forces. He's wearing a uniform, and then it goes whoof, and he's dressed like a woman. I'm not lying. The United States paid for that to encourage people who, I guess, dress that way to join the military. And he's a GOP candidate for Senate there, and he was sparring in the debate against a Democrat leader. And he made the statement that the military needed, basically, he was saying, manly men to serve our country. He was pointing out that on the battlefield that would not be good. He went into deeper discussion that I won't describe. It could be worded that may be a little tough as he went with further explanations, but he stood by it. He's catching heck this morning for making that statement. I'll let you, the voter, decide whether he's right or wrong, but he basically said we need women who are very, very tough, and we need men that are very, very tough. He didn't discriminate against women. He just point blank said men, women who are up for the job, who can handle it, should be joining the military. And it has caused quite the uproar in Virginia. We'll see what happens with that. Now, this next story is a very complicated story. Baton Rouge is where it started out. And I don't know as many of these TikTok stars that I probably should, but there's somebody named Mr. Prada. Has 4 million people that follow him. Baton Rouge police put out a APB on him but they didn't actually say his name. They put a picture of him and said that he was involved in an incident with a stolen car. They've put out an arrest warrant. Now, what gets deeper into this, and they haven't accused him of it, is the fact that the person that the car belongs to is deceased. It's deep. 4 million viewers. Mr. Prada, P-R-A-D-A. We'll see what becomes of this. There's a lot of speculation. Is he tied to it, or was he just driving the car? It's not good on his behalf either way. We'll see how that turns out. Atlanta, y'all be ready for this if you're in the Atlanta area today. It's going to be covered with a haze. You know the fire at the chemical plant?
Yeah.
That haze is making its way into Atlanta. And if you've ever driven in Atlanta, that is not good news. It is also like Houston, Texas, to where you pray you make it to the other side.
On a clear day.
On a clear day, you're right. 8 lanes of traffic, it is not for me. I'd have to have me a chauffeur every day. I couldn't do that. And maybe you get used to it. If you're out there, maybe you get used to that every day of that travel back and forth of dealing with it. I can't. It's just not for me. Have mercy, have mercy. Good luck to all that. Do you remember the latest guy that was set up that was going to make an assassination attempt against Trump? They're pausing this. And I thought, well, they're up to something. But as it turns out, they've got more and more and more material that they have seized that they have not looked at. And it could be more damaging evidence as to what he was doing and what was going on. So they've kind of put it on pause until they have time to go through all the videos and talk to the extra witnesses. This spans several states of what they've gotten. This guy was serious.
Follow the money.
Follow the money, as Odie said. There's something else here. And it's serious enough that they paused it a minute instead of moving forward with going with the information that they already have. Apparently there's a lot more. That's kind of spooky, isn't it? Very much. You hear of Mexico, of the cartel and things like that in the cities that aren't the tourist towns. Most of the time, Cancun, where we're going with this story, is usually pretty safe. Nothing happens there until you're lying on the beach at your luxury hotel and these people come up on a Sea-Doo out of the water and do an assassination in front of everyone at the guest. Took the guy out, went back in the water, and swam away. Woof. Mexico. Remember this, y'all, whenever you travel, and I know that there's, Odie, you're going out of country. These folks aren't like the United States. There's not laws and things that protect you as good. The police forces aren't as good as the U.S. of A. Be careful where you go and what you do. people that accidentally leave things in their luggage and end up in jail. These other countries are, sometimes it's just best to go visit Idaho. And look at the potatoes. It's safer. I just say, Mount Rushmore is out there if you've never been there. The U.S. of A. is a great place. A lot of places you hadn't traveled in, a whole lot safer. We got our issues, but they really got issues elsewhere. We'll be right back as we'll get into your weather forecast this morning to let you know how it's going. We'll be right back.
Here at Meridian Cycles, customer service is our #1 priority. And when you buy any Polaris, Can-Am, Honda, CF Moto, or Suzuki ATV or side-by-side, we're going to give you your first oil change absolutely free because we service everything we sell here at Meridian Cycles. Come see us at 80 Highway 19 North or call us 601-485-8700. Come see us.
Hi folks, Paul Brown with Dixie Buildings. We're here to take care of all your building needs for your personal and your business needs. That includes portable buildings, carports, sheds. Don't forget your hunting camps are coming in. You can start out with our 8x10s. If we cannot haul it, we can build it for you on site. We have 2 locations, one on Highway 19 South and our home office just around the corner on Long Creek Road. Just give us a call at 601-483-4943.
Welcome back. I see Jeff Lewis finally got up. Jeff, you dragging there, buddy. Get you some coffee and face the world. Doesn't like Jeff. Good morning to you. Let's look at radar as we begin this. Honda Meridian radar as we pull this up. Great state of Mississippi. Looks all good. Look at that. Clear. And it's going to be warm somewhere near 89. But let's look at Tennessee. Look up here. Lord, at the fog that we've got. Nashville, if you're going to be in that area. Murfreesboro as well. Those are one of those cities that, well, they think they got to get there real quick if you've driven through there lately. Be careful. It gets worse as you go into Kentucky. Look at this. Charleston. Wow. Look at that. All of that area right there. West Virginia, you can't even see the mountains. It's so thick this morning. We've got a little bit showing up around Gadsden, Alabama. Not bad there. Dalton, Georgia has a little bit. But I'm telling you, after you get past Huntsville toward Chattanooga in those areas, it gets bad, bad, bad with all of this fog. Be careful in those areas. As we look southward, a little bit of rain out in the Gulf. Nothing major. A little bit around Sarasota there. Fort Myers area getting some showers. And we do have areas of fog out around Dallas and Houston and Galveston. One of those high traffic areas. Now, again, and we're going to look at this in just a moment, this low pressure system still looks to be small. They've downgraded this to a 30% chance of something happening here in the Gulf over the next. We'll look at that, of what they predict. But as you'll see, there's nothing major there. And it will most likely move into the Florida area once it does decide what it's going to do. It doesn't look to be any major hurricane. And as a matter of fact, it dropped from 40% yesterday to 30% this morning. So it's downgrading as we go, becoming something more. That is wonderful news. All right, let's get deeper into the forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Those record highs, record lows, boy, 2019 must have been a booger bear. 102 was the record high that was set on the state back then. Back in 84, still cool, it was 36 degrees back in 84. It's held that for a few days as well. As we look at today's forecast, as we said, sunshine 86 expected here. We should see, they've changed that. They moved it up since 4 o'clock. That's 89 now is what you're expecting. A few more degrees on that thermometer. We'll see that basically throughout the state as it warms up all through those areas. Bama already saying 88 for Demopolis. We'll see somewhere around 88 in Tuscaloosa and a tad cooler there in Birmingham as it's cooler there as well. Troy, Alabama should see 85. Here's what we've got. We're kind of normal right now in Mississippi, but out to our west, look at that. You get into Texas, past Louisiana, that northern portion of Texas, it's hot, above average. Eastern Georgia, portions of Alabama, a little bit cooler, and up the eastern seaboard, we've got cooler weather up through there. Southern Florida is still warm this morning on that outlook. Now, the next few days, we're going to stay into the 80s until next week, and then we'll start seeing sprinkles of 70-degree weather. 88, 89 today. We'll see 84 tomorrow, a little bit of a decrease. We do have that rain coming in. It'll be pleasant tomorrow. 30 to 40% if you're getting ready to plant deer fields. Make sure your seed is in the ground for tomorrow. That 30% could pay off for you. As we move into the weekend, look at this. All these outdoor events that'll happen, 86, 85 on Sunday, perfect weather. Sunday, we're off to 85 at the church house. Back to work on Monday at 84. And then again, that's when we see this 70-degree weather. This is going to flip-flop all week long next week from 79 to 80, 78, somewhere along in there. Let's go another day here, as we'll see Friday the 11th at 79. And then it will be somewhere around the 15th that we see a major change there, dropping to 75 and 77 the following days. But we are not going to complain anywhere from 75 to 85, are we? That's pretty good weather for us. We can't complain. But look at the rain chances. Virtually none. We do on the 17th have a 15% chance. So that's what I'm saying. If you were planting patches, tomorrow is your hope of getting a little wet stuff on those patches. So get it in the ground as quick as you can there. As we look at our best fishing times today, looks like our major time is going to be this morning around 7. That's minor. Major time will be 1 o'clock. About 10 after through about 3:15, and will be your perfect time to go fishing today. Wind's going to be calm, becoming east-southeast around 5 miles an hour this morning. So a little bit of a change there. And we'll come back and look at the deer hunting chances here in just a second. Let's look at what we've got with hurricane. As I mentioned that a moment ago, National Hurricane Center. They've downgraded this again to a 30% chance of becoming anything. That is good news for us. I know people were panicking a little bit in the beginning, but it is shaping up good on this. Only a 30% chance. It is Mother Nature. We always leave that chance out there that it could. As we look here, Clarke is a Category 3 this morning. No harm to us expected. Wind speed of 121. We've got gust of 150 with it. Now, again, that's Clarke, Category 3 out here off the coast of Africa. We have a tropical storm, and her name is Leslie. Leslie's upset this morning, and she's moving along at 40 miles an hour. Y'all look out for her. She ain't got no makeup on. 52-mile-an-hour gust. She's working on that eyeliner real hard to get that going. So watch her. Now let's go back over here and let me see if I can find our deer hunting calendar. Find out what's going to be happening today with that. I got a little bit behind there. Here we go. As we go to our friends at Wimberley Taxidermy, letting us know what to do with deer hunting. Major times today was early in the morning. We've got another chance today at about 12:20. If you're going to be out bow hunting, 12:20 is the time to be there. It's your major time till about 2:30. Now, your minor times that will play into effect will be right at dark. We got a chance this morning at 7 o'clock, about an hour's worth there, and then that next chance will be after dark. So your chances are this morning from 7, and then your next best time is a midday hunt. Go check it out there. Ooh, capture the beauty of wildlife. Sit there with Wimberley Taxidermy. He'll take care of you. Be glad to mount a deer for you. Every now and then you mess up and kill something good. Something else to add to the wall. I got a friend who he's a habitual mounter.
About anything.
Bless his wife's heart. And she lets him do it. There's most wives that go, you can't put more than 2 on the wall. I promise you, Donovan, did I accidentally say his name? There's 50 on the wall. Tanya, bless you. Bless you, girl. Bless you. We'll be right back as we're getting it ready. We got to make a pot of coffee, and we're going to be right back to get all this underway for you. It begins at 7 o'clock. Again, veterans of foreign wars are here to learn the difference of a rummage sale and a garage sale. We're going to get this straightened out so this won't happen again. We got him in the hot seat. We're going to teach him. We'll be right back. More coming up at the Scotty Ray Report.